Good morning, guys. We're going to be in God's Word, Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. It says this, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulders. His name will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And the increase of his government and peace there will be no end upon the throne of David and over his kingdom, to order it, to establish it with judgment and justice from that time forward, even forever. And the zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this." What a beautiful picture. I love that we've been going through these prophecies of the birth of our King Jesus. And this one was so critical because we get to see something about the very nature of who Jesus was and God's redemptive purposes and redemptive plan, right? That when you look at what is promised here is that there would be a man who would come where the government is upon his shoulders, that people would be able to look at him and truly proclaim him as being the mighty God. And that there would be ultimately no end to his rule, no end to his reign, and he is going to be the very tool that God is going to deliver his people. And so what a beautiful picture. Now, when we think about what people do and mankind does, is that we're always looking to rise to the top. Somebody always wants to be king. Somebody always wants to have the government upon their shoulders. Somebody always wants to be able to hit the next rung on the ladder and hopefully climb to the very top. That's the kind of built into us as part of our human nature, our fallen nature. But what we see is that as much as man is always trying to become God, we see that God actually chose to become man. Nobody goes down except for the Lord. And so as he came down, he came as a child. And that was the only way that we could have this promised hope of one to come, which we could put our whole trust in, that could genuinely govern our entire lives. And it's such a blessing as we look at the promises of who he is. Maybe it is that you need a wonderful counselor. Maybe it is that you don't have any strength right now today, but you know that you have a mighty God. Maybe you're kind of worried about the future, but you get to understand that you have an everlasting Father that knows from the beginning from the end. Maybe there is a total lack of peace in your world and in your life and in your family, but you know he's the Prince of Peace. What a blessing it is that we can look at God's Word and we can see that this child that was promised, Jesus, brings all those things to us. I love you guys, and God bless y'all.